The first light of day is a liar. It promises a clean slate, a fresh start. But here in Vinales, the light reveals a truth that is much older, much deeper than a single sunrise. It spills over the horizon, a slow bleed of orange and pink, catching the edges of the strange, sleeping giants that dot this valley. They call them mogotes. These massive limestone casts, ancient and weathered, rise abruptly from the flat, fertile earth. They look like something forgotten by time. Or maybe time simply decided to leave them alone, respecting their silent authority. The air is cool, still holding the memory of the night, but it won't last. The Cuban sun is a relentless force, and soon it will bake this land once again. This is the Cuba you don't see on postcards, not the crumbling glamour of Havana, or the sanitized perfection of a resort beach. This is something else entirely. It's a place where the earth itself seems to breathe. The ground is a rich, rusty red, stained by iron and history. It's the kind of soil that gets under your fingernails and stays there, a permanent reminder of where you've been. We have just 24 hours. One single rotation of the planet to try and understand this place, to see beyond the cliches and find the real, unfiltered life that pulses just beneath the surface. It's a fool's errand, probably, but we're going to try anyway. The plan is simple, or maybe it's hopelessly complicated. We will follow the sun. We'll start with the first light, with the roosters that are already beginning to crow, their calls echoing across the fields. We will dive into the heart of the valley, seeking out the people whose lives are woven into this landscape. The tobacco farmers, the horsemen, the families living in brightly painted wooden houses. We want to see what they see, taste what they taste. We are searching for a story, not the one that's told to tourists, but the one that's lived every single day, from the first cup of strong coffee to the last sip of rum under a sky full of stars. This isn't just a trip, it's a mission. To capture a moment in a place that feels both timeless and on the brink of change. Every corner you turn, you feel the push and pull of the past and the future. Old larders share the road with horse-drawn carts. The revolutionary spirit lives on, but so does the hustle, the need to survive, to make a life in a country of beautiful contradictions. This valley holds secrets. It holds hardships. But most of all, it holds a profound, undeniable beauty. We're here to listen, to watch and to experience it all before the sun sets on our day in Vinales. The mist is a slow, lazy river. It winds its way around the bases of the mogotes, softening their hard edges. From a distance, it looks like the valley is still dreaming. But if you listen closely, you can hear it waking up. A dog barks somewhere in the distance. The rhythmic clip-clop of a horse's hooves on a dirt path begins its daily percussion. A screen door slams shut, followed by the faint sound of voices carrying on the still air. This is the soundtrack of a Cuban morning. It's a symphony of simple, essential things. No sirens, no traffic jams, just the sounds of life beginning anew, as it has for generations. Our journey begins on foot. Cracked asphalt, packed red earth, small single-story homes, mint green, sky blue, canary yellow, faded pink, small porches with rocking chairs, life lived out in the open, coffee brewing, steam rising, dark, strong, sweet, pouring into cups, a shared cup between locals and outsiders. The real treasure? What grows from the soil? Heartland of Cuban tobacco, rows of plants, patchwork of green fields, farmers at work under the rising sun, hands moving through broad leaves, practiced efficient movements, a legacy passed down father to son. The air changes as you leave the main road. It gets thicker, heavier. It's filled with the smell of damp earth, a rich, loamy perfume that speaks of fertility and rain. This is the true scent of Vinales. You have to be here, walking on the rust-red paths that snake between the fields, to truly experience it. The sun is climbing, burning off the last of the morning mist, the sharp green fragrance of the tobacco plants themselves, the faint, sweet smell of wild guava, the musky scent of the oxen that stand patiently waiting for their day's work to begin. We follow a narrow track, the soil soft under our feet. To our left, the tobacco fields stretch out in neat, endless rows. To our right, the tobacco fields stretch out in neat, endless rows. The leaves are huge, like great green ears, listening to the secrets of the soil. Some are a vibrant, youthful green, while others are starting to yellow at the edges, a sign that their time is coming. A farmer, his face weathered into a permanent squint against the sun, moves slowly down a row. He's not inspecting the plants, he's communing with them. He touches a leaf here, plucks a small weed there. His connection to this land is palpable. This isn't industrial agriculture. There are no giant tractors, no automated irrigation systems. Everything here is done by hand, or with the help of animals. An ox-drawn plough cuts a straight, deep furrow in the earth, the wooden yoke creaking with each step. The farmer guides it with a gentle hand and a soft-spoken command. This is farming on a human scale. It's a rhythm of life dictated not by schedules and spreadsheets, but by the sun, the rain, and the seasons. You can feel the honesty in it, the raw, unfiltered effort that goes into every single leaf. We are intruders in this world, observers of a daily ritual that needs no audience. Yet we are met not with suspicion, but with a quiet curiosity, a nod of the head, a slight, knowing smile. These farmers understand the allure of their world. But for them, it's just another Tuesday. The sun is getting hotter. The work needs to be done. The land is demanding, and it doesn't wait for anyone. We keep walking, deeper into the green heart of the valley, humbled by the sheer, beautiful simplicity of it all. At the edge of a field stands a strange rustic structure. It's a long A-frame building with a steeply pitched roof made of dried palm fronds. The walls are made of rough wooden planks, with gaps left between them to let the air circulate. This is a casa de tabaco, a tobacco drying house. From the outside, it looks almost prehistoric, like a shelter built by the first inhabitants of this valley. It has a silent, watchful presence. It's a place of transformation. The air around it is already thick with a sweet hay-like scent, a promise of what's inside. We are invited in. Stepping through the wide doorway is like entering another world. The bright, harsh sunlight is replaced by a cool, dim interior. The air's heavy, almost syrupy, with the overwhelming scent of curing tobacco. It clings to your clothes. It clings to your skin. It clings to your hair. It's the ghost of 10,000 cigars. Looking up, we see the source. Thousands upon thousands of tobacco leaves are strung up on long poles or kujes, stretching from one end of the barn to the other. They hang in neat rows, a cascade of colour from yellow-green to golden brown. The farmer who owns this barn is named Luis. He's a man in his 60s, with a face as wrinkled as a dried tobacco leaf. His eyes sparkle with a lifetime of stories. He explains the process with a quiet pride. The leaves are harvested. They are brought here. They are sewn onto the poles. Then they wait. For weeks, sometimes months, they hang in this fragrant darkness. The temperature and humidity inside the barn are crucial. Luis checks them constantly. It's a delicate science. an art form learned through observation, not textbooks. He talks about the leaves as if they were his children. This barn is more than just a building, it's a cathedral of tobacco. Luis explains that different leaves from different parts of the plant will be used for different parts of the cigar. The strong ligero from the top for power. The flavorful seco from the middle for aroma. The combustible volado from the bottom to ensure it burns evenly. Standing here, surrounded by the silent hanging leaves, you begin to understand that a cigar is not just something you smoke. It's the culmination of a year's worth of sun, soil, rain, and the tireless work of people like Luis. Luis leads us out of the dim barn and onto a small shaded porch attached to his house. He sits down at a simple wooden table. On it are a few tools. A small rounded knife called a chaveta, a little pot of vegetable gum, a wooden guillotine. But the most important tools are his hands. They are gnarled and stained dark brown from years of handling tobacco leaves. He picks up a small bundle of dried leaves. With a practiced, almost unconscious grace, he begins to roll a cigar. His fingers move with speed and precision. He selects 3 different types of filler leaves, bunches them together, and carefully rolls them into a tight cylinder. There is no measuring, no hesitation. His hands just know. He takes a beautiful smooth wrapper leaf and stretches it out. With his chaveta, he trims it into the perfect shape. He lays the bunched filler at one end and begins to roll, tucking and tightening. There is a deep, meditative focus in his eyes. For these few moments, the rest of the world seems to disappear. He applies a tiny dab of natural gum and creates a neat cap. The entire process takes only a few minutes. He hands the finished cigar to us. It's still slightly moist. The smell is rich, earthy and sweet. He takes another, snips the end with the guillotine and lights it with a wooden match. He takes a long, slow puff. A cloud of fragrant blue smoke billows out. This is the real Cuba, he says, a smile creasing the corners of his eyes. This cigar, made by his own hands, is the purest expression of this land and its people. It's a taste of the soil, the sun, and the soul of Vinales. We leave the quiet solitude of the tobacco farm and head towards the village centre. The energy shifts immediately. In a small, sun-drenched square, the morning market is in full swing. Not a tourist market. This is for the people who live here. Vibrant, colourful, chaotic. Smells, ripe mangoes, onions, yucca and malanga root. The stalls are simple wooden tables, groaning under the weight of the valley's bounty. The sounds of the market are a symphony of their own. Vendors calling out their prices. Friendly haggling between neighbours. Children laughing. The sun is now high enough to be taken seriously. It's time for the first real coffee of the day. We find a small open-air cafe. There is only one way to drink coffee. Short, black, incredibly strong. The process is a ritual. She whips it furiously with a small spoon until it becomes espumita. This sweet foam is the secret to a perfect Cuban coffee. It's called a cafecito. The first taste is a shock to the system. Intensely sweet, immediately followed by deep, complex bitterness. A drink of contrasts, much like the country itself. You drink it quickly, pure caffeine and sugar to fuel the day. Around us, men down their cafecitos in 1 or 2 gulps and head back out into the sun. We sit for a while, sipping our coffee and watching the village unfold. This simple cafe and powerful little cup feel like the perfect lens on Vinales. Strong, sweet, unapologetically itself. The midday sun is a hammer. It beats down on the valley with an unforgiving intensity. But we're not looking for shade under a tree. We're heading towards one of the mogotes. We're going inside, into the belly of the earth. Stepping from the blinding heat into the cool, damp air of the cave is an immediate relief. The world of sun and soil is instantly replaced by a world of stone and shadow. The air smells ancient, like wet rock and deep, undisturbed earth. It takes a moment for our eyes to adjust. The rock formations are otherworldly. Stalactites, sharp and pointed like stone icicles, hang precariously above us. Stalagmites grow upwards with infinite patience. It's a silent, slow-motion ballet that has been performing for millions of years. You can't help but feel small in a place like this. This cave was here long before the first tobacco plants were ever grown in the valley. The further we venture into the cave, the more the sounds of the outside world disappear completely. The only sound that remains is water. Drip, drip, drip. Dim lights reveal pools on the cave floor, dark mirrors reflecting the jagged ceiling. An illusion of infinite depth. Rock faces glisten with moisture. We run our hands over the walls, smooth, cold, worn by millennia, touching history itself. The path ends at an underground river. A small wooden dock juts over black silent water. The walking tour ends, the boat tour begins. We push off and glide across the dark river. The cavern's scale becomes truly apparent. Our guide sweeps a powerful flashlight along the banks. "Look," he says, echoing, "a crocodile." And there, the head of a man. Faces, animals, mythical creatures. Then ahead, a bright, brilliant point of light. The exit. The river takes us back out, back into the sun. The short journey through the earth is almost over. Emerging from the cave is like being reborn. The sudden blast of heat, the blinding, brilliant sunshine. But instead of getting back in a car, we are opting for a more traditional mode of transport. Horses. These are not the large, powerful steeds you see in movies. They are smaller, leaner, tougher. My horse is a calm, brown mare with intelligent eyes. Getting on feels like stepping back in time. The pace is slow, unhurried. It forces you to notice the little things. The vibrant blue of a tiny lizard, the intricate web of a spider, the sweet scent of wild jasmine. We ride past small farmsteads. Families sit on their porches and wave as we go by. This is life at 3 miles an hour. And he's sharing it with us, one hoofbeat at a time. The world feels simpler, more direct, more real, from the back of a horse. The ride takes us deeper into the countryside, far from any paved roads. We pass a man walking along the trail. He's a farmer on his way to work. He nods a silent Buenas tardes as we pass. We stop at a small rustic shack. An old man with a warm, gap-toothed smile welcomes us. With a few swift, expert whacks of his machete, he lops the top off a green coconut. The coconut water is cool, slightly sweet, and incredibly refreshing under the hot sun. We climb a small hill, and from the top, the view's breathtaking. Red earth, the green fields, grey, weathered mogotes. Under a vast blue sky, it looks like a painting. We sit on our horses in silence for a few minutes, just taking it all in. This is the image of Vinales that will be burned into my memory. As we head back towards the village, the afternoon light begins to soften. Our shadows grow long on the red dirt path. The ride has been more than just a tour. It has been an immersion. It has connected us to the land, to its people, and to its history. For a few hours, we have been part of the rhythm of the road. The sun begins its slow descent, and the world changes. This is the golden hour. It's a magical, fleeting time when the light becomes thick and syrupy, painting everything it touches in hues of gold, orange, deep red. The mogotes cast long, dramatic shadows. Every leaf, every blade of grass, every speck of red dust seems to glow from within. We find a spot on a hillside, a natural balcony overlooking the entire valley. A thin veil of smoke rises from a few chimneys as evening meals are prepared. The sounds of the day are softening. It's a time of transition, a collective sigh of relief as the day's work ends. This is the time when the rocking chairs on the porches finally get their occupants. This moment feels like a reward. You can't capture this on a postcard. It's something you have to experience, to breathe in. It's a time for reflection, thinking about the faces we've seen, the hands we've shaken. In just a few hours, this valley has shown us so much of its character, its resilience, its soul. The sun finally dips below the horizon. The first stars begin to appear. The day is officially over, but the night in Vinales is just beginning. Now, the focus shifts from the fields and the roads to the homes, the kitchens, and the tables where the real heart of Cuban life is about to be revealed. It's time to eat. Darkness falls quickly in the valley. Tonight, we've been invited into a home, a casa particular. We are welcome not as customers, but as guests. Elena, radiant smile, commanding presence. The air is thick with smells from a small, bustling kitchen. This is not the scent of a professional kitchen, the scent of home. And then the food starts arriving. It doesn't come in courses, but all at once, a tidal wave of generosity. It's a feast. Food made without pretension. It's about flavor, deep, honest, satisfying flavor. The first bite is a revelation. The ropa vieja is incredibly tender. It's the kind of dish that tastes like it has been simmering for days, perfected over generations. Rice and beans, the cornerstone of every meal. Together, they are more than the sum of their parts. They are the foundation. Our guide explains the philosophy of Cuban cooking. He talks about the constant struggle for ingredients, the ingenuity required to put a meal like this on the table. Knowing this adds a new layer of appreciation to every bite. The conversation flows as freely as the food. Around this table, barriers dissolve. We are not tourists and hosts. We are just people sharing a meal. The soul of this place isn't in the landscape. It's here at the dinner table. As we finish eating, a new sound drifts in from the front porch. It's the gentle, melodic strumming of a guitar. He's joined by his son with a set of bongos. A neighbor wanders over, maracas in hand, and joins in. This isn't a performance for tourists. This is what happens on a Saturday night in Vinales. It's joyous. It's melancholic. It speaks of love and longing. The rhythms are a primal call to move. The small porch becomes an impromptu dance floor. Someone sings in a raw, emotional voice. We don't understand all the words, but we understand the feeling. It's the soundtrack of a people's history. We sit and listen, captivated, a perfect confluence of sensations. It feels like a secret, a private moment of community and connection. But it's not a secret. This is just life. This is how the night breathes in Vinales. The music isn't a performance, it's a conversation. The music eventually softens. It's time for the final act of any Cuban evening, the last rum. He pours a generous amount. No ice, no lime, no cola. He also brings 2 small glasses and a single cigar, one of the ones rolled by Luis on his farm this morning. I take a sip. It's smooth, surprisingly so. He cuts the cigar, lights it, and offers it to me. The combination of the rich cigar smoke and the smooth, sweet rum is a classic pairing. We sit in a comfortable silence for a while. In this quiet moment, there's a profound sense of peace. This is the end of our 24 hours. From the first light over the mogotes to this last sip of rum under a canopy of stars, we came looking for the real Cuba. And somewhere between the tobacco fields and the dinner table, we found something. If you've enjoyed this journey, if it has sparked something in you, then do us a favor. Hit that like button. It helps more than you know. And if you want to join us on more adventures like this one, to explore the hidden corners of our world, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. Until the next time, we wish you all the best on your own journeys. Happy travels.